everybody. It's good to be back. It's good to connect with everybody. It's been a while since we've done any streaming. Part of it due to the holidays and part of it due to the commie virus, which I ended up getting. My daughter came to visit for Christmas. She was here 2 days and got text messages from her job saying that 8 of her coworkers had tested positive for COVID. And I mean, it went through the house quick. And I got it, just like everybody else. So it was no picnic for 12 days there, but my robust American immune system knocked the commie virus on its ass, and I'm on the other side here. So I wanted to connect with everybody today, say hello. I see we got a nice little crowd here. This is very nice. Eric the Guapo, Leroy is here. Wiley Draws, Leg Kick 1. Kenneth Rocafort, the great Kenneth Rocafort. What an incredible artist. Thank you for popping in today. I want to do some work with you at Compass Comics, my friend. So watch for your emails. Prater 7 is here. Stripling Vaughn. Still got a little cough, so if I hack up, so be it. Micra is here. Raven Saber, John, JDC, Hyper Kaiju. He says, damn commies. Yeah, you're damn right. What about? Ahoy, one and all. Postmaster Dan, James Murphy, Oz Legacy. It's good to see some familiar faces. Bronze Age Kid says, good to see you again, Graham. It's good to be seen, specifically standing up. Pestmaster Dan says, how's the taste and smell? Never affected me. I didn't have that. I didn't have the sore throat or any of that. I had the headache and still have a little bit of a headache. But the big thing for me was the fever. I had a fever that just lasted like 12 days, just kept coming and going. And I was freezing all the time. When you get a fever, everything's. So that was the hardest part for me. So, I had to kind of hunker down under the covers half the time, but so unfortunately, this also happened right in the middle of the launching of fulfillment for Alien Alamo. Now the good news is I couldn't sign the books, so my fulfillment center shipped me a case of books, and I got those signed and shipped it to them. So they began fulfillment in December, as I had promised. But the bulk of the fulfillment hasn't really started yet. But I went in there this past week and signed everything that needed signing. The only exception is the ash can. Those are still in the process of being printed. I have a dummy here to show you. And there's some corrections that had to be made to it. So they'll be printing those, I think, Monday or Tuesday, and then I'll pop in there, sign those. But the bulk of, or at least a huge part of shipping will start Monday for sure. There's tons of packages ready to go because they were boxing them as I was signing them and stuff. So a huge load will go out. Actually, some of that might go out today too. She had said that she, excuse me, she thought that they might be actually go out today. So that's really cool. Really great news for all of you Alien Alamo folks out there. Speaking of which, you probably want to see the books, right? Because I got to tell you, they came out fantastic. I'm so happy. So here is our main book. Okay, you can see the spot varnish. I'm trying to capture some gleam up there on the Compass Comics logo and on the Alien Alamo, and also on the aliens. Now, what separates these covers? Oh, and here's the back because it's a wraparound. So let's give you the full Monty here so you can see it. Now, what separates my books from a lot of other people's is that I'm really all about texture too. There's something, because we all love the actual printed material, the tactile nature of print. I want it to feel like something special, you know, not like a slick comic book cover that's kind of flimsy or anything. This is called a 12-point C2S cover. Okay, that means that it's like a 120-pound board, and then it's coated. It's coated with a matte finish, so there's a film that goes over it and gives it a real soft, almost velvety feel to it. And then there's templates made for the spot varnish. So those templates cut this out, and then they put a layer of varnish across all the shiny stuff. So it's a really interesting process, and I think when you hold this, just like with the Chinook, it's got that same feel to it, which is what I want my books to have. I just want you, when you pick up a Compass Comics book, you can close your eyes and say, "Hey, that's one of Graham's books," because I can feel the difference. I can feel the texture in it. So that's the first one. Okay, I'll show you the variant covers too. Here's Aaron's. You can see the logos on both on this have the varnish. Now on the backs of these is like the Chinook, and we have a spine too, which is really cool. Same thing with Butch's. Some of the crabs are getting picked up by my green screen here, but you can see how nice that looks. Let's show you some interior too. The interior pages, what I didn't like about the paper in the Chinook was it was a high gloss paper, and I find that, you know, no matter where you're reading these things, particularly if you're outside in the sunshine or if you're underneath a lamp, the glossy paper tends to give off a major sheen, and so you have to like kind of angle your paper to get rid of that sheen, and I find that annoying, because I'm all about immersion. If I got to be thinking about the product and not the story content, I'm taken out of it. And I want my readers to be immersed too. I don't want them to have to deal with that kind of stuff. So what I did was I upgraded the paper to a matte finish. So it's not actually a true matte finish. So there's still a coating on it, but you can see there's very little shine. So it won't get in your way when you're reading it, which I think is really neat. So let me, here we go. Show you some cool pages. Colors came out great. The printing came out great. You know, I've gotten some books lately where I'm like, oh my God, I can't read these things. They're so dark. You know, it's like there's this extra layer of black in printing files, and that's called a K-tone. And somehow they get in there. I don't know if it's the colorist or the printer, but it just blackens stuff. It makes everything dark and muddy looking, and you lose all sense of depth. And I try to avoid that with all the stuff I publish. There's a great one. Look at that color. So I don't want to show you too much of the interior because I don't want to actually pop onto a page that is a spoiler or anything like that. But I wanted to share that stuff with you, as well as here's the ash can. This is the dummy of the ash can. Okay, so this will fit right in the sleeve with your comic too. Okay, now these are the layouts that I used to draw the entire book. But what I did when I printed this is I printed it so you will read it like this. So each page is the single page of my templates that I print out. Okay, so for example, let's see if you can see if I can get in closer. Okay, so you'll be able to compare this with the comic book. And here's my notations, my notes, my dialogue notes, and you can compare the finished dialogue to the notes and the finished product. So I think that's a very different and cool kind of thing if you're into the process of creating comics. Well, thank you there. Little monster. And so this is the ash can. They'll be running these off early next week, and I'll be in there to sign all those. Here's the other goodies. I'm going to show you the first mini print, and this came out amazing. Look at that color. It really pops. Again, that'll fit in with the backing board. Yeah, it came out really great. Here's the stretch goal mini print that everybody gets. Oops. Cyberfrog's color is getting picked up by the green screen here. But this came out really nice too. Sorry about that. Okay, here's our trading cards. Boop, boop, boop. And I made sure that they were sized properly. The last ones were cut to the wrong size. And somebody said that they had a hard, they wouldn't fit into their little like card sleeves, their collector card sleeves. So I wanted to avoid that. So these will be good to go. Oh, Anointed Lore Comics, thank you for the $2 super chat. Hello, CG. Congrats on your book. It looks great. Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for spending a little time this afternoon with us. Now, these are vinyl stickers. So these can go outside or inside. Okay, this is the Compass Comics one. These are all die cut. So, I mean, none of this white on the edges is going to be there. It's just a little white highlight around here. So it's going to look really cool. Put it on your MacBook Pro or something like that. Same thing here, the Alien Alamo logo. Bullet holes and all. That looks kind of cool, I think. The alien himself. Again, die cut vinyl. So indoor or outdoor, you could stick it on the back window of your car, a bumper, whatever. Okay, I think that's all the goodies here. Just double check. Yeah. So stuff's going out, it's pretty exciting. When you work on something this long and you have a vision in your head, you have to be able to think ahead. But when it becomes tangible, it's really cool. So I'm very, very pleased. Not too many hiccups along the way. I learned some lessons in the last campaign. And try not to make those mistakes. Made a few new ones this time, but but that's the nature of the beast, you just keep that train moving. And now, I want to update you too on the other thing. We had talked about doing a Shinu plushie, and I had been waiting since October for the the sample to show up. Well, I kind of laid the law down with these people, and because I wasn't happy with communication and stuff, because they had told me last time end of November is expected, and I wanted to have these products out for February for obvious reasons. If you saw the 3D illustration of it, it's really cute little plushie of the Chinook, and he's holding this like traditional heart. I thought it was a fun and cute way, about this horrible creature that eats your hearts, and it would have made a really great Valentine's Day gift. And I wanted to have these things able to fulfill by Valentine's Day. Well, I haven't gotten the sample still. So I wrote them, and I chose this company because they were based in Florida. And I said, oh, great. We can get this thing done here in the United States. And comes to find out that all these delays are happening because of production in China. So I canceled the order. I said, no, I chose you because I thought you were US based and you produced in the US. And I won't have production for any of my products done overseas. I'll use services overseas. I'll use artists and stuff like that from other countries. That's not a problem. But the actual production, the manufacturing of products from my company, whether it be the publishing or production of products like this, I want to be done in the United States. So that being said, I'm looking for a new US-based producer. NRG Comics, everything looks great. Thank you for that $25 super chat, NRG. Wow, that is a good cigar. Everything looks great. I'm going to smoke a cigar by the fire pit in anticipation of Alien Alamo and looking forward to Two-Fisted Tales. Well, thank you, sir. That is much, much appreciated. How did I miss your... Let me find your post here so I can stick it up. There it is. Let's put her up there. There we go. Let's try that again. NRG Comics, thank you for the $12. 25. I still have COVID fog, I got to tell you. $25 super chat. That's a great cigar. Everything looks great. I am going to smoke a cigar by the fire pit in anticipation of Alien Alamo. Looking forward to Two-Fisted Tales. There we go. Thank you, my friend. That is greatly appreciated. Okay, so we covered that. Now this seems like a good time to dovetail into the next project, which the sign-up sheet went on line on Monday, and that is for the giant size Two-Fisted Manly Tales book. Is a good possibility this is going to be a hardcover. It's going to be over 100 pages, 100 pages for sure of pure story stuff, and then have to decide what other goodies we want to add in there. But this is going to be a really, really fun project with some really incredible talent that's already lined up. I have the first 5 of 10 stories. They're 10-page stories. So there's 50 pages that are already written. 2 of them completely illustrated, and others that are being worked on as we speak right now, because what I want to do with this book is fulfill it relatively quickly. So I'll get these teams working on these things, while the campaign is running, so that as soon as the campaign is done, we can begin the process of printing and fulfillment. And one of the advantages here is that I'm not I'm acting strictly as the publisher here. This isn't a major story that I'm writing and illustrating, which takes a lot of time. Like Alien Alamo took me close to a year to do that all by myself. So I have teams of really, really great artists and writers working on this. For example, Chuck Dixon is working with David Williams on a Viking story, which I've read the story, and it's classic Chuck Dixon. It's amazing. Bo Smith and Tim Rozon. You might know Tim's name from Bo's TV show, Winona Earp. He plays Doc Holliday. And he and Bo have been collaborating on scripts for quite a while now. And they have a, and I've paired them up with Andrew Paquette, who used to work for Marvel years ago. He's a real Renaissance guy. Very, very interesting style. And he does the full art, color, and everything. And their story is called True North, and it takes place in the 1950s, and it's about a bush pilot fighting commies. It's fantastic. It's pure, unadulterated action adventure. I've got Mike Barron writing a story called Gurkha on a Train, and he's paired up with the amazing Butch Geis. And this is based on a true story about a young man, a Gurkha, who was a British/Indian fighter on a train going back home, and some bad things happen, and he steps up and does the right thing, as men of action need to do. It's another fantastic story. Kevin Grievous. You'll know Kevin's work from Bass Reeves over at Allegiance Press, and from, of course, his Underworld series. In fact, he's doing an Underworld story called Lycan, about one of his werewolf characters, which is action-packed and amazing. I'm waiting on the cover right now from the great Michael Golden. It should be coming in any day, and he's doing the main cover for this thing. And Michael and I will be working on a story as well. I've written a story called Crossing the Rubicon, and it's about a trucker who comes to his favorite truck stop and finds it's been overrun by a gang. And again, it's a situation where, like everybody, you try to mind your own business, but sometimes you're forced into action. And if you know Roman history and what the crossing of the Rubicon is, you'll have maybe a little bit better idea of the through line of the story, if you will. So those are the first 5 stories. I think that's all of them, right? I got Bo, Chuck, Barron, Grievous, and me. Yeah. So those are the first 5 stories that have been commissioned. And we're going to be getting ready to launch in a couple weeks. What I'm waiting for is I need some more assets to come in from the guys so that I can build the campaign. I got to have the cover. I gotta have that to start the campaign and build images and stuff for Indiegogo. So that will determine, once those images come in, will determine when I set the launch date, if you will. Excuse me. So if you haven't signed up for it, the link to the sign-up sheet is in the description of today's show. If you're not watching it live and you're watching it later on, check that out and sign up. The advantages of signing up for it is that you will receive an email on launch day with a 15% discount if you purchase on launch day. That doesn't go out to anybody else. It's only people that have signed up. We've got 923 people signed up already. So I'm suspecting a pretty nice launch day. So if you haven't done so, please sign up. And I know you won't regret it, because this is the kind of stories that I tend to be reactionary. I want to go through my life, living my life and doing my own thing, and not be bothered, not be told what to do. but then I find that there are aspects of our culture that get in my way, that try to insert themselves into my life. And over the last, I would say, close to 10 years, masculinity has been um, so denigrated by media outlets and media processes. Um, I find myself, at first I made fun of it, but now I find myself getting angry over it. It's like we're creating a generation or generations of these young men that, uh, you know, define their tough guyism from social media. They get into these flame wars and piss wars on these various things, and they say things that, you know, 25 years ago, you would not say to a man's face in a bar because you'd be spitting out your teeth. Uh, and these are lessons learned growing up. You learn when to shoot your mouth off, and you learn when to keep your mouth shut. And sometimes, you need to step in because you need to defend a loved one, a wife, a daughter, even a son, an ideology, uh, a your nation. There are times when you have to stand up and be counted as a man, and uh, that seems to be getting lost. The John Waynes, the Chuck Norrises, the Clint Eastwoods, the Robert Mitchums. Um, it goes on and on. Uh, I don't see them anymore. I see these kind of soyish guys that are stand-in for men. They get made fun of when they try to do something, that clearly they're just hardwired to do or say. Okay, sometimes we can be hammerheads, yeah, but that's who we are sometimes. Okay, you got to accept that. If we have to accept everything else, you got to accept that. So anyway, this is the long way of saying that's the origin of where this book came from. Is that it was my reaction to all these things that are going on around us, and the way that men are being portrayed. And I thought, in a fun and satirical way, um, not entirely satirical though. I wanted to tell stories that were the antithesis of this. And so that gave birth to Giant Size, Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Giant Size comes from, of course, the old Marvel Giant Size comics that they published back in the 1970s. Annual sizes. They were 68 pages, and they had a certain trade dress look. And I'm recreating that trade dress look for this book so that it harkens back to that type of thing. So there's going to be more stories added, obviously, as the campaign goes on, and new talent brought in, and will be announced when they've been assigned and stuff like that. But it's going to be a fun campaign. I hope everybody's going to sign up and be on board and support this project. I'm very proud of it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I got another super chat here. Let me just scroll by and see. Oh, I do. Vero Frady, okie dokie, signed up. Thank you for the $5 super chat, sir, and thank you for signing up. I do appreciate it. All righty, let's see who we got here. Most deadly virus spreading in America today are Looney Tunes Marxists. Yeah, the politicizing of a flu, too. Hey, thank you, Kenneth. Hope you feel much better soon in the coming days. Every day above the sod's a good one, my friend, and I'm above it today. There were some days where I was like, oh, You know, even last night, I thought I was over everything, and I went to go let the dog out, and it was like 20 degrees outside, and that breeze came in, it hit me, and it's like, I just got to chill that, that's it. I'm going up to bed. I got to get under the covers. I can't get rid of this chill. Sounds like the flu. It's very much like the flu. I mean, this whole COVID thing is a lot like the flu. It's a coronavirus, which is basically a cold virus. Yeah, buddy. I was still in a nursing home last year at this time. Working or instituted? Pikachu says, there we go. Already got my Alien Alamo. Good. That's right, James. Tactical tactile. These are Compass comics, not glossy pamphlets. Exactly. I want them to feel special. AJ Tom is here. Hello. Woohoo. I made it. God bless Graham. God bless you, AJ. Stripling Vaughn is referring to Fry Communications, who did the printing for me. They also printed the Chinook. Did a great job. James prefers the matte finish on the paper. Me too. Gloss has glare. Yep. It's that glare I want to avoid. Newsprint is still my favorite. I love newsprint as well, but newsprint only translates with the old style newsprint printing techniques. In other words, if you the printing presses don't use dot patterns to separate the various plates to produce different colors. It's much more complex when it's separated through Photoshop, because you can get millions of color versus hundreds of colors, and that creates ink saturation, and that ink saturation doesn't lay on the newsprint the same way as it does on a coated stock, or it doesn't lay on it the same way that the old comics printed on newsprint. So, and to be honest, newsprint is not cheap. So it's an inferior paper for the printing processes. I don't like the way modern comics are printed on newsprint. I want to like it, but then we have to go back to a different type of separation. And I don't know that you can really do that too much. I mean, I suppose you could probably fake it in Photoshop by creating screens and printing it that way. Bronze Age kid hated glossy paper. Cigar Gangster says, this looks great. Thank you. I'm glad. Fawad Siddiqui, he agrees. Thank you. How do you get the printing done so fast, Graham? I've backed some other campaigns that keep sending updates about paper shortages. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what type of paper they're trying to get, or if they're making excuses. But I had no problems on any of this stuff. Maybe it's who you know or who you use. Oh, Eric wants to see the 3030 keychains. They're Let me see. Wait a second here. I think I have one in the studio. Let me grab it really quick. Hold on a second. You guys entertain yourselves. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I did have an extra one here because I had, I used one of the boxes as because I signed all the boxes, and I was trying to determine what pen to use for it. So, I messed it all up. I started with the gold and I didn't like it, and I went over it with black and blah blah blah. So anyway, I couldn't use this one. So anyway, there it is, the 3030. And that is, I believe that typeface is called gunmetal, which seems very apropos. So there you go. A great tool for learning to plot a book. Talking about the ash can. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Amanda B. I'm screenshotting Eric asking details about a stretch goal. Kevin Thomas just got in from work. Hello, Kevin. Is it one shot or first of a miniseries? And who else in the credits for the book? I've listed everybody who's in the credits at this point. This could be a regular or annual series. You're talking about giant-sized two-fisted manly tales, I'm assuming. So yeah, we could definitely do more. There's millions of these type of tales to tell, and I tell all the writers, no genre is off limits. It just has to be, the focus has to be a man, and he has to be, kicking ass, and either standing up for something or protecting something, or putting a whooping on someone that needs it. So yeah, I'm trying to get into different genres too. Like I said, we have a modern one that takes place in India. We have one that takes place in the 1950s. We have a Viking story. We have a horror story. We have a sort of a biker trucker story, which harkens back to the, kind of 70s type stuff. So nothing's off limits. What part of Texas is Alien Alamo set in? Well, it's a bunch of hills, so I suspect West Texas. Dennis Shoemate is here. Hi, Dennis. 1957 have any significance? For Alien Alamo? Yes. 1957 is the year that Sputnik was launched. It was the year that man reached into the stars. And I thought it would be the year that the stars reached back as well. Ergo, the aliens. Also because this was a story that was about a man dealing with PTSD. I wanted him to be a World War II vet. So in 1957, he's a young man still. And so the confluence of timing and events, I I thought really played out well. And when you get to the end of this story, it's now 2022, and you'll see why the timing of that year works out perfectly too. Randy Howell says hello. Nate Palazzo says hail. Leroy says a Compass Comics sticker. It's going on the PC. Excellent. Hey, AJ Tom, that's where mine's going to, right on the back of my truck. That back seat has a headrest, so it's going to be behind the headrest, so I don't have to see it in my rearview mirror in reverse. Oh, that one's going on his Mac. Yeah, buttons and patches. I don't see the I don't see the get for that. And to be honest, buttons are a pain to ship because if you're going to stick them into the bags, the shape of the button, any kind of pressure is now going to push that into your comic and damage it. So I try to, and I learned this with the Shinu, is, try to get everything to be flat and to fit within your bag. Makes shipping easier, makes it safer. North Free is here. Hail Graham and the mighty Chet. Can't wait for my comics. Yeah, and we're importing in all the tracking numbers and everything too. So you'll be able to go in and look and see if your book is shipped yet. If it has, there's a tracking number. Looking forward to Manly Tales. Yeah, buddy. Glenn Acom says hi. Hello. Eric Guapo says a sticker from Graham is acceptable. He gets a pass. I must have missed something back there. Thank you, Kevin. I'm glad you like the way it looks. My PC needs a Compass Comics sticker. It's not right not having one there. I agree. I think you need one. Pop Culture Avenger is here. Hello, sir. Cigar Gangster. That's a great title. You got Edwin G as your avatar. Glad you are keeping the production here, Graham. It's important to me. I think more companies should be doing that. Yeah, Mayfield Jukes, absolutely right. I'll pay extra for US based. I'll pay extra, going back to creating that plushie for the Shinu. I'm confident that my backers would be willing, and most Americans, I think, for certain things, would be willing to pay more, knowing that their fellow Americans and citizens had jobs and were doing this stuff and putting that U.S. quality into it. We're not waiting on tanker ships offshore to come in or dock strikes and stuff like that. It's like it's made here by Americans. It's everybody benefits from it, and everybody deserves to make a living. So I have no problem paying more for the product because I know the backers are willing to pay more too for a quality piece, and it'll be better than anything done overseas. Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant. Hey, yo, Graham. Hey, yo. Bing bong. Eric is getting, Eric the Guapo is getting, I must have missed something here. Leroy's right, Eric. Come to the light. Manly trading cards? Oh, absolutely. Cool, Cotton. Yeah, there'll be trading cards. There'll be a bookmark. Those things I like. I find them functional. I like to do them. I find them challenging and fun. So yeah, those things will definitely be there. Leroy wants to know how many stories is Nolan drawing. Does anyone know? Right now, I'm not drawing any for Two-Fisted Manly Tales. As I said, I'm acting as publisher. I am writing. I have written one story for sure. I'll probably write another one for the second phase, which would be the second 5 stories. But I don't know that I'll be drawing any of them because once this thing is done, that's when I jump back into the Nolan verse and I start work on the Ghosts of Metacumba, which, you know, that's the one. It's going to take me a lot of time because I do it all. Graham is building a skyrise. Oh yeah, David is awesome. He should be a bigger superstar. There's no two ways about it. I think maybe because he worked in animation for a while and wasn't able to, you know, cultivate a comic book fan base through the better part of his career. But it's not from lack of talent. He is one of the best, I gotta say, as a storyteller, as a designer, as an artist. He can do it all. Dr. Mask, hail Graham, hail chat, driving, so I can only listen. Ah, Scott Amendolari. Hello, Scott. I appreciate that. Scott works for another great publisher, Allegiance Arts. Mitch and Elizabeth Breitweiser. 2 great people producing great comics. And as it turns out, Scott and I went to high school together. Satellite Beach and on the Space Coast of Florida. Nice that you got Geis. Yeah, Butch is great. Gurkha the Knife? Nope. Not Gurkha the Cigar either. But named after the famed Indian fighters, the Gurkhas. Mayfield Juke says he is so pumped for this book. Some love for stickers here. That's good. Stripling Vaughn says, holy hell, just launch the campaign now and take my money. Caesar built that bridge just to show the Germans what the Romans could do. Enough said, moment in history. Oh, there's a lot of things that'll happen when you purchase Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. You're I don't know if you saw my tweet. You know the scene in The Grinch That Stole Christmas where his heart enlarges and bursts out because of the Christmas spirit. It enlarges like 2 sizes, 3 sizes, something like that. Well, the same thing will happen to your balls when you read Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Just like the Grinch's heart, they'll enlarge 2 sizes, and you'll be able to strip and clean a gun in the dark. These are all byproducts of your reading this book. I hear I'm going to lose 10 pounds of fat by backing the campaign as it instantly transforms into muscle. That's how manly this campaign is. I'm not going to say it's so. I'm not going to say it ain't. It's been rumored it will instigate puberty in children and lead to cocktails and a cigar. What's wrong with that? Angela Curry is here. She says, hey, Graham, hey, chat. Bronze Age Kid says the last 5 years in particular have been utterly insufferable. No doubt about it. Will you wait until Two-Fisted Manly Tales is completed before you launch the Ghosts of Metacumba? Yes, AJ Tom. Once I know that fulfillment is beginning on Two-Fisted Manly Tales, that just like I did here, I waited until fulfillment had begun on Alien Alamo before I started my sign-up sheet for Manly Tales. I want to do the same for Ghosts of Metacumba. You know, I don't like. I don't think it's right to not fulfill something and launch something else. I believe in the trust of my backers, that they're trusting me with basically investing their money and their time in me, and they haven't gotten anything from it yet. So I want to be assured that the product that they anticipated is going out to them before I start asking them for their commitment to the next one. I think it's only fair. So yes, to answer your question. Bull Durham, I don't know yet. I haven't determined the price point on it. Some of it will depend on its format. I'm debating on whether to do it as a hardcover. But at 100 pages, I think it's safe to say it's probably going to be about $50 as a starting point right now. Maybe if it's a hardcover, it might be a little bit more. But I would say plan on 50. The modern day man bun wearing tough guy, LOL. LOL, Nolan is so old school. I love it. I'm not sure what I said or did to earn that title, but thank you. Nothing wrong with old school. Pop Culture Venture says the Billy Jacks. That must be when I was talking about, the John Waynes and the Clint Eastwoods and all that. Heck, even the Bruce Willises are extinct now. I never bought Bruce Willis as a tough guy, though, I gotta say. Nolan is saying soy boy without actually saying it. You're killing me, Smalls. As time has gone by, guys like Archie Bunker and Al Bundy, who were meant to be laughed at for what they said, have turned out to be largely right about most of it. Here's an American hero. Are there any Dick Winters in today's society? Doubtful. I still get teared up at the very last sequence in Band of Brothers when Dick Winters is talking to his grandson, who said to him, Grandpa, were you a hero? And he chokes up and he says, no, but I served with some. I was like, kills me every time. Oh, trying to collect all the Marvel Giant Size issues. Cool. Mayfield Juke says, "You've got my support, Graham. It's a pleasure." Thank you, sir. Much, much appreciated. Randy Howell says he's in. North Free says Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos, Manly. Oh, JDC. Thank you, sir, for the $1.99 super chat. Glad you're feeling well. Prayers and best. Much appreciated. Peyton Holden is here. He says, "Hail, Graham. Hail, chat." Neon Todd Studio says the same thing. Thank you. The Sin Killer is here. Greetings, sinners. How are all doing? Hey, it's Friday. We're doing great, right? Means the weekend I can climb back in bed and rest some more. Oh no, Peyton, really? I was always partial to Baxter paper. Oh, that was some of the worst paper in the world. That ink just laid there. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, the Baxter, I'm thinking of the Flexograph paper, which predated the Baxter. The Baxter was actually a nice, heavier stock, really white paper. So, my apologies. Love that avatar. Oh, is that when I went to go get the bullet and my 0% liberal bourbon came up? Yeah, that was it. Wow, this is how far down I am. The real Sean Crummel. Have to get ready for work. Have a great stream. Can't wait to get Alien Alamo. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for spending some time with us this afternoon. Yes, Eric, that is made with a real bullet and an actually fired casing that's cleaned and polished. That's the real deal. Got a brass bullet in there. Cruder Quotient 1, when is the campaign launching? It won't launch till I get more assets. I'm waiting on some artwork to come in, and most importantly, the cover. Can't do anything without the cover. That's first and foremost. I can add and build after that, but I got to have the cover. So I'm waiting on Michael for that. I'm told it's supposed to be here pretty soon. I use Flat Nose for 30-30. I do too. And he uses 30-30 when he's hunting in the brush. 30-30 is a great great round. Will stop just about anything. Paul says, "Can't wait for Alien Alamo to be delivered. Continued success on giant-sized manly tales. You're doing great work." I thank you. And I thank you for your support. Maybe a giant-sized two-fisted manly tales branded 30-30? A 30-30 rifle? That might be a little tough to ship. Hey, Randy Howell, thank you for the $2 super chat. 12 degrees here. Alien Alamo beats the winter blues. It's about that here too, just south of Buffalo. I think the wind chill is like 6. Feels like 6. I'm already thinking of, well, the ghosts of Metacumba Key. A lot of people don't understand what that means. Well, Metacumba Key is part of the archipelago of the Florida Keys. It's about midway down. The major city that's in Metacumba is Isla Morada. So you may have heard of that town. We're planning. We used to vacation down there once a year up until just before COVID. But we're going back there again, probably in February, March. And I get to write it off this time because I'll be doing research and photographing things down in that region. So where I was going with this is that we're talking about these temperatures right now. So it may be 12 degrees here, but my mind is down in Isla Morada or Metacumba Key. I'm still hoping for a war book from Compass Comics. No, I'm not. I'm doing genres that are not covered. So the Chinook was straight horror. Alien Alamo. I got to scratch a sci-fi Western itch. So war is definitely not out of the picture. We need an Alien Alamo aftershave. Smell manly while fighting alien crabs. But don't smell like crabs. You don't want to smell like that. No, Harold, because The Expendables isn't my book. Yes, I drew it, but that was Zach who published that. So I only have my comp copies. I don't have stacks or cases of them or anything like that. That's his stuff. Yeah, Paul, it would be cool to see Nolan do some kind of Band of Brothers story. Well, I mean, I did get to scratch a little of that itch here because, as I mentioned, that I dealt with our character dealing with his PTSD from World War II. So here's a really cool flashback sequence from World War II. I'm not going to turn the page because it's a great reveal, and I don't want you to see what happens next. But yeah, this was pretty cool. It took me quite a few days to do just these 2 pages because I wanted to make sure I referenced everything from the Japanese weaponry and uniforms to the Marines. And the Marines' uniforms changed from the beginning of the war when we first got there in 1942 till later on. They started off wearing Army bucket helmets and eventually went to the camo helmets. So I wanted to make sure that all that stuff was accurate for the time that it took place. Reference. It's important. Antonio Richilo has a technical question. When you export pages from your iPad, what file type do you convert it to? PNG, PSD? What file size? I transfer it as a Photoshop file, PSD, and it's full size. I work at 300 DPI. If you work at 600 DPI, you're limited to how many layers you can use on your iPad. I think it's 12. If you use 300 DPI, you have, I think, like 30 layers you can go up to. But at 300 DPI and working full size, so that 300 DPI is 11 by 17 art. When I import that into a 600 DPI size down, the size differential isn't that big, so I can just expand it and drop it into that template, and there's no loss or degradation of the file. Oh, lucky man. Those Joe Kubert enemy aces are great. Christina Lynn says, I'm in the South and it's 20 degrees with snow. Whew. That ain't cool. NRG Comics says, yes, would pay more for U.S. goods. That's it. Go America. Let's bring us back. Before my time, Mayfield, Breyfogle, Nolan, and Aparo is where it was at for me. Dr. Mask has gotten home. He's no longer driving. He can't wait to get all his AA swag and back TFMT. When is launch date? Well, as I said, it'll depend on when I get all my assets, but sometime in January, I suspect. Next few weeks. Ooh, excellent, Paul. Thank you for signing up. Just remember, if you guys are just tuning in now and you didn't hear before, when you sign up for the sign-up sheet for Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales, only people who have signed up will get the link to the 15% discount on launch day, which is significant. You know, if it's a $50 book, 15% knocks it down to $35, right? Yeah. So that's a pretty nice discount. So you want to make sure you sign up so they have that opportunity. I remember seeing some flashback war panels and some Alien Alamo previews, so a war book in the Nolan style would be amazing. Well, thank you, Paul. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to put another war story, or a straight up war story into the second half of Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Thank you, Bull Durham, for the $4.99 super chat. How much do I save for the books and add to my other Compass Comics books? Did I cover that already? Well, if I haven't, I think what you're asking is for the Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. What would be the price on that? If that's the case, then yes. I'm looking at $50 for the 100-page book, possibly a little bit more if we decide to do it as a hardcover. Graham, the publisher? Hopefully we don't lose too much time from Graham, the artist. Oh, no, because these can go concurrently, while all the other guys are working on the stories and stuff. I don't have to roll up my sleeves until it actually comes time to publish it. So they're doing all that heavy lifting going on. In the meantime, I can start working on the script for Ghost of Metacumba Key. And then when we get this thing launched and start fulfilling, that's when, I'll get back into my artist, writer, publisher mode and start working on that. No, in fact, I launched this because I figured it wasn't going to be so as time consuming, other than the promotional stuff, which is very time consuming, regardless of what campaign you're doing. Is you've got to promote it, you got to get out there, and you got to be doing it every day, trying to reach new faces and get the word out. Does Compass Comics consider unsolicited writing pitches? Not at this time, Paul, because all the stories are being generated through me. The stuff I'm working on, uh, obviously, they're my concepts, my ideas, uh, and stuff that I'm acquiring because I'm going to art writer friends that I know directly. Um, because I know their background, I know the type of stories they can write. So at this point, at the baby steps of my company, the answers to that is no. But as it grows, which I'm hoping it will, then it, that's a possibility. Brian suddenly old, so I'm late. Is this about Alamo or something new? Well, we talked about Alien Alamo in the beginning, and then we've dovetailed into the next project, Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales, which is new. Uh, and if you haven't done so, Brian, I need you to sign up for it. Sign up. The sign up sheet link is in the description of the show. So get on there and sign up so that you can get a 15% discount on launch day. That's not a bad idea, Kevin. Manly Tales should have a spoof of Charles Atlas ad, sort of like how Andy did his Hostess one in First Man. Yeah, you know what the spoof would be? Would be the skinny little guy is shooting his mouth off at the beach, and then he gets his ass kicked. That would be the spoof. That would be funny. I can strip and clean a gun, but in the dark, wow. You're welcome. I've heard that too. Is there going to be a Vegas 50 cal option on Two Fisted Manly Tales? Official Polyworld trainer. You are doing it right, Graham. Well, thank you. I am very happy when my backers are very happy. I've heard that as well. North Free, thank you. That's a very kind compliment. Graham's a rare one for sure. Trust is what's running short with campaigns lately. Well, I hope I've earned yours. The stream is for grown-ups, not furries. Like there's not enough psychological damage around the world. Oh. One of the perks for TFMT should be a cigar with artist signatures and the title of the comic on it. Oh, that'd be tough to put on a cigar. And then if it dries out, I have a story. I'm going to kind of share a little bit right now here for the first time that I'm debating on putting in Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. And I'm just going to tell you the title of it, and it's called Kirby's Cigar. And it's a send-up of the comic book industry. I'm not sure. I love it. But I'm just not sure whether it's a perfect fit for this particular book. I keep talking myself out of it, but it might be something I might add into it as a stretch goal if we hit certain levels, something like that, just to put it in as a little extra story type thing, because it's really, really cool. And I think you guys will laugh your ass off, because some of and much of the anecdotes that happen in that story are true or based on truth. Oh, what is this? Past Master Dan, I have my uncle's photo from him being in the Navy on my wall. He was killed at his station on a merchant marine ship that was a decoy for the nukes. Like nuke testing? Atomic testing? Jeez, that's terrible. Dr. Mask, are you trying to get me in trouble? Don't you remember how much issues I ran into with the Chinook brew? I can't ship beer, let alone whiskey. I hope this campaign helps you learn and grow so next year you can successfully run overlapping campaigns. This repeats what you've said. Sorry, I had to step away. No, it doesn't repeat it, but it goes against what I did say, in that is I don't want to have an overlapping campaign until I know the previous campaign has begun shipping, for obvious reasons. You know, I want my backers to get what they were promised first before I start asking them to support me again. Hey, Rob. Thanks for stopping and good to see you back, Graham. Best wishes to all for a happy, healthy, and manly new year. Words of iron there. We're going to part ways on this, Leroy. Not a Sloppy Joe fan. My wife and kids like him, but no, I think Real Man is going to just make that into a burger, to be honest. Jasper, Plan 9 is here. Hello there, sir. Good to see you. Eternal Shadows. It's popped in. Hello. There goes Leroy. Pimpin' Sandwich Saturday. That's a beautiful background. Well, thank you, Vanessa. I agree. What's more beautiful than Old Glory? Wonder what kind of perks TFMT will have. Lots of potential. Oh, absolutely. I've got stuff percolating, gang. AJ Tom says he needs him a giant-sized Manly Tales whiskey glass. That is a good idea. That is definitely a good idea. Relatively easy to ship and to manufacture. I'm going to definitely write that one down, AJ. .30 and 308 are your get anything with them rounds. They do get the job done. Vanessa says, we'd love to have Compass Comics at our Heroes and Villains Con 4/2/22. Where is that? Eric the Guapo is a 357 fan. I like the versatility of the 357. Shoot 38s in there, wad cutters, all that. It's a heavy gun, a lot of metal because it's got to hold the power of the 357 load. So I don't like that. Mayfield Jukes enjoyed Expendables Go to Hell. Was a great read. I laughed out loud and enjoyed it a lot. It's a fun book. Oh, Cortland. Okay, thank you. My mom and dad went to school in Cortland, at SUNY Cortland. Buddy Callan says, I agree with the guys, especially after seeing those pages. World War II book would be awesome. Kelly, Graham, and Ballant, or what was on the shelf when I started buying floppies. Good guys all. Bretsky the Great, love your storytellers, especially the Joe Kubert episode. Who are you planning on covering in the future? I've got a couple of people that I've reached out to that I'm waiting to hear back. Some of it's timing, they're busy people. And I haven't been able to, excuse me, lock some guys down. But next Wednesday, I believe I'm going to have Alex Saviuk on, the great Spider-Man artist. So Alex is a great guy, and he'll have some fun stories to tell. But I haven't locked Alex in yet. Some gun talk going on here. Hey, I appreciate that, Leroy. When you get off to a quick start, it really helps a campaign because it helps those algorithms from Indiegogo to, kick in and reach out to backers that you might not be able to get on your own. So, you guys, when you load up in the front end, it's much appreciated. Come on, Graham. Anything cigar related has to go in. Maybe a cigar torch, or what are those? The Zippo. Maybe like a custom Zippo. That could be cool. Oh, you're referring to my story. That it's got to go in. Okay, I'm going to take that under consideration. I really want to put that in there. Kirby Cigar Ash Can is always an option. Yeah. It's a short story. It's only like 8 pages. Wow. Gotta say, of all the crowdfunded comics I've backed over the last several years, Compass Comics hands down wins an A100 and an A1100% rating. That's high praise, and I thank you. Will it make the book longer? Then put it in. Yeah, that's a strong possibility, Kevin. You have all the bugs worked out now on the beer thing. I guess I'm selfish because I was able to get the Chinook beer shipped to my house, and most couldn't. Um, you must live in the state of New York because the brewery is able to ship that stuff within the state. It's part of their license. Many backers don't favor overlapping campaigns. I'm with them. I don't like that. I think of it more like a handing a baton off. You know, as you're getting down to that line, that crossing that finish line, you hand that baton off, and then the runner takes off with the next one. That's the metaphor I like. A giant pastrami sandwich is manly. Yes, as long as you put mustard on it, not ketchup. And that goes for hot dogs too, people. I'm just saying. You do what you want to do, but you will be judged. Burger, medium rare or medium well? I prefer rare. Well cooks the taste out of the meat. Agreed. Medium rare. First cigar I ever smoked was after a 72-day steam on a sub. After we surfaced during a mid-watch with my CO, he came up to the gunner's lookout and offered me one, and we enjoyed the Blue Hawaii night. Oh, that's a great story. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Brian. Yeah, Dr. Mess likes the whiskey glass idea too. And a cigar clipper. Double-walled steel whiskey glass. Okay. I like some of these ideas, guys. You should put these down and send them to me. Yeah. Does 15% off launch day mean the first 24 hours? Yes. It'll be the first 24 hours. So if we launch at noon on a Monday, it'll be noon on Tuesday till you have to claim it. Otherwise, you're stuck with full price. But why are you going to do that? Why are you going to wait? You've signed up already. You're going to get that email. Bam, knock it out. Don't invite Mark Brooks to your show. That's not going to happen. And it's not that I don't invite people that think differently than me. If you've ever watched The Storytellers, I've had a lot of people on there that are completely opposite to my political belief systems and stuff like that. But I invite them on because I like them as people, as friends, and they are entertaining and have a great knowledge of the subject that we're talking about. And, I think that's the way to go. Not everybody's got to agree on everything, but you have to agree to be respectful of the person's disagreement. And some people are, again, keyboard warriors, shooting their mouths off. and they're unwilling to back it up to your face. And those type of people do not come on the show. Jasper says he met Alex Saviuk at Megacon. Yeah, he was sitting right next to me. I remember when you came by. I learned a lot about apparel from Alex a few years back. You two are just going to talk and talk when you get to that subject. I don't know if Alex knew apparel personally. I did. And Jim was a friend and just an incredibly great artist. Actually, you know what? Alex probably did know Jim because he'd started off at DC back in the late 70s. Yeah, I take that back. Yeah. Well, that will be interesting then. Adam Malone says, congratulations on finishing up the book. Thank you. Jasper says, Graham is the gold standard when it comes to the right way to run and fulfill a campaign. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Mustard is manly. Ketchup is the devil's condiment. Normie Nerd is here. Came in late. Graham, your genuine excitement while holding your book is a pleasure to see. Proud to be a backer. And I am proud to have you. Angela's not a man, so mustard doesn't apply. Okay, Angela, you get a pass. Jeff, good to see you, pal. Are you back from Florida, you lucky dog? Love the background, my friend. Looking forward to those manly tales. Have you tried Fat Bottom Betty? One of my favorite cigars. Nope, have not heard that or that one. Demonized says, I just got over the Omicron as well. Can't kill a monster kid. That's right. Jasper wants to know if there's be a timed or a limited cover. I haven't gotten that far yet. The main cover by Michael Golden is going, obviously, is the main cover. I'm debating on whether to do a variant, that type of a thing. There's still a lot of planning to be done. Right now, I'm focusing on kind of cracking the whip and getting assets in on time. Then when I have that stuff, then I have to sit down and start thinking about the actual campaign and the assets that are going to go into it. You've had Howard Chaykin, but the new liberals can't talk. The old school ones can talk, and it's all good. Oh yeah, Howard has his opinions. I tell him he's wrong, and he thinks I am. So. I'd love to see an uncomfortable Mark Brooks on your storytellers. But you see, that's the thing about my show is that it's not, I don't make people uncomfortable. I don't want them to come on my show and feel uncomfortable. If I don't like them or I don't respect them, they won't be asked on my show. Uh, and I've never had anybody tee off into politics or any of the the woke events that are happening. Never. Nobody's ever discussed any of that on the show, and I like to keep it that way. But if they do, then it's open season because then I can go right on in. But I won't do it. I won't institute it. Jim Paro's Spectre work is some of the best horror comics ever. Yeah, that and his Phantom Stranger and his Aquaman run in Adventure Comics are my three favorite things that Jim Aparo did. He also did a short run on Detective Comics in the 1970s when they did the 100-page Giants, and Archie Goodwin was writing the stories. He was the editor, and he wrote a bunch of the stories. And Len Wein, I think, wrote one that Jim did as well. That was a short run for him until he returned to Batman later. I didn't cancel. I was at Megacon. Oh, Megacon. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Terrificon. Yes, I'll be at Megacon this year in May. There was I was originally scheduled for the one when COVID hit, and that got canceled. And then when they scheduled it, they scheduled it for I think August, and it didn't fit into my schedule for 2021. So we just had me cancel out and then book me up for 2022. So in May of 2022, I will be in my lovely state of Florida at Megacon. Whew. Comic in Cahoots says, Happy New Year, Mr. Nolan. Happy New Year. Demonized, can we buy directly from you? Do you have an eBay store? I buy the books after the campaigns through eBay because I only have PayPal. Yes, Demonized. When the campaigns are over, my books go up on the Compass Comics website, and they can be bought there. Unfortunately, the prices are higher. The advantage of getting in the beginning and supporting the campaign, not only do you get the books cheaper, but you get all the stretch goal goodies. When you buy it off the website, you don't get any of the stretch goal goodies, and your purchase cost is higher. But it's now a rarer book. So. And drink. I managed to slide my finger across that thing and knock myself out. You know the rules, guys. That was my bad to get to drink. And it is technically just about cocktail hour. Indiegogo needs to turn on PayPal payment method. I agree. I think they're leaving money on the table by doing that. Jorge Valdez. So excited for the next project, Graham Nolan. Yes. Well, excited to have you around and on board, Jorge. What's a good sipping whiskey that we could enjoy in a manly glass at room temperature or chilled to the point of near freezing? Well, since Compass Comics is the all-American comic book company, then I'm going to recommend a bourbon, the American whiskey. And I would say a nice Woodford Reserve is a good one. Neat is preferable. But if you want it iced up, put one of those nice big round cubes in and have at it. No. Just no. I agree. It's fine. I'm used to paying more. I don't have a credit card, so I can only buy with PayPal here in Canada. Okay, pal. I believe the website accepts PayPal. I'll have to double check it. At the Compass Comics website. Oh yeah, and your other option is, of course, Irish whiskey. That's never a bad thing. Are you scheduled for Dallas Fan Expo yet? It's the same organizers. No, I'm not. Way ahead of you. I'm fucking drinking. Nice. Some creators let me back directly, sending them a PayPal at the end of their campaigns, like Aaron is doing for me. I can do that, Demonized. I'll have copies. Once they're done with fulfillment, I'll have extra copies and the other stuff. So just reach out to me, Graham at compasscomics.com, and we'll make that happen for you. Bam. Round cube. Yeah, that's like jumbo shrimp, isn't it? But yeah, they've got these silicone molds that you can make these round ice cubes. I guess they call them ice balls. And they're great because they distribute the cold, it's a lot of surface area, and they last a long time, so it doesn't water down your whiskey. Hey AJ, yeah, that's the only place you get it. I do not have copies. Thank you for taking the time to go through all the chat comments. Great job in kicking the commie COVID. Yeah, boy. That's right. Medicinally. Nothing wrong with that. The 3/4 sketches from the campaign shipping this week. I don't know when they're shipping. The fulfillment team handles what goes out when based upon groupings. So if you have one coming and you're curious, you can check the Indiegogo site and see if you've gotten a. Well, I think you'll be notified actually with a tracking number. Oh, there you go. Those are cool. Shadowhawk Bax is here. Hail Graham in the chat. He's here just in time for me to say goodbye. Well, been on an hour and 45 minutes. I wanted to make sure I said hello to everybody and acknowledged your chat. Much appreciated. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the upcoming book, Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Stay tuned. I'll be streaming again and starting to promote it and stuff. I'd appreciate it if you guys could send the word out too, the sign up sheet out to your lists of friends and stuff like that, and tell them about how excited you are about it. And let's get some fresh blood, some new faces in here, because that's what we want with comics. We don't want a niche market. We want to expand this thing and share our love and passion for great stories. People don't know how to access that in most cases. If they're limited to the old paradigm of buying them in a comic shop, it makes it very difficult. But word of mouth goes a long way. So with your help, we're going to do that. We're going to spread this thing and create and celebrate this art form that's uniquely American and beautiful and needs to stay around. And it's folks like you that are going to make that happen. So everybody have a great weekend. You have my permission now to go ahead and pour that bourbon because as if you need that. But thanks again. This has been great reconnecting with everybody and sharing all the good stuff that's happened and the cool books and products and stuff like that. So I want to again thank you all, and God bless you, and you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.